Wednesday edition, PFT Live, PFT PM, hiatus style. Plenty of things to discuss in the NFL, even though training camps still aren't open. I saw a tweet earlier today of Ben Roethlisberger showing up, not in Latrobe, in Pittsburgh. Remember, they're not going back to St. Vincent College this year. The NFL wouldn't allow it, but the Cowboys and the Steelers and the Buccaneers opening up this week. Next week, everyone else. There will be more and more news. But even with the vast majority of the NFL still in hibernation, there's plenty of news. And let's begin with Tom Brady, the Buccaneers quarterback, yesterday at the White House. Couple of funny lines, couple of jokes. I'm not going to talk about that, though. We've already written about it, and there really isn't much more to say other than he may need to hire a slightly better team of writers. The jokes were good, not great. I'd give him maybe a 7.5 out of 10. Could have done better. Should have farmed that out to someone other than whoever he farmed it out to. That said, he had a town hall recently with Jim Gray. It looks more like a fireside chat with a crappy gas log over his shoulder. A lot of topics that Brady discussed during that. Now, that town hall goes live later today, I believe, but some things that we've written about at PFT. First of all, on the topic of who the unnamed mother effer was, remember the comment from the shop a few weeks back that there was a team that was interested and backed out late in the 2020 free agency process. And Brady's reaction was, "You're sticking with that mother bleeper?" Brady says that that's something he uses for private motivation. He's not going to make it public. Never mind the fact that he's already made it public. He's stopping short of making the names involved public, but he says they know who they are. And there's been so much speculation about who it is. And I knew Brady was never going to actually address it. I'm glad he was asked the question because I thought there was a chance that he ultimately would never be. So we now know that he knows and the team knows and the mother bleeper knows, and Brady's not going to say anything more about it as we expected. Another thing Brady discusses in that session with Jim Gray, the possibility of playing beyond the age of 45. Now, earlier this week, there were quotes from Alex Guerrero, Tom Brady's personal trainer, TB12, that Brady's got 2 more seasons. Brady himself has said, "I've got 2 more seasons," but Brady made it clear that once he gets to that point, once he finishes the season during which he will turn 45, and he'll be 44 as of August 3 this year. So my math skills good enough to tell me that next year at this time, he'll be turning 45. End of that season, supposedly the end of his career. He says he'll evaluate where he is at that point and make a decision. But if he can still play at a championship level and it fits with his overall life obligations, he could keep playing. And we can't rule out, frankly, the possibility of Brady going somewhere else after the 2022 season. You can't rule it out. He said before, "I've got 2 years on my contract with the Buccaneers. I'm going to play 2 more years." He talked about going back to Foxborough, and he said, "This is probably the last time I'll play there." Well, it's definitely the last time unless you're going to change teams, because the Buccaneers won't be back there for several more years. So, yeah, it's definitely the last time he's going to play in Foxborough, unless after the 2022 season, Tom Brady decides to pick another spot and try to win a Super Bowl with a third franchise, which would not be surprising if he pulled it off, but it would make his historic career even more historic and likely unmatchable by anyone for however long the NFL happens to hang around. So don't be surprised if he keeps playing beyond 2022. And I'll add to that, don't be stunned if at the end of the day he decides, maybe I'll give another team a spin. Maybe there's another team out there that will be more stacked and clearly in need of him to come in there and shake things up and do what he managed to do last year in his first season with the Buccaneers.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.